All right, so you're thinking about getting yourself a diesel compact SUV.
That's right.
It seems like you've narrowed it down to two of the most popular options out there.
Yeah, the Tata Nexon and the Mahindra XUV 300.
You know, you've sent us a ton of reviews and comparisons
Yeah, we're diving deep into those today.
to help you make the right call.
Exactly.
So we've got this video comparison review
Uh-huh.
and then an article from Stuff Magazine.
Right.
We're going to try and cut through all the marketing hype
Again.
to see what really matters to you as a driver.
Yeah.
Now, I've got to say, some of these findings are pretty interesting.
Yeah.
The winner might not be who you'd expect.
Really?
And there are some little quirky details
Okay.
that could totally change your mind.
Interesting.
First impressions, of course.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, looks are subjective.
Sure.
But the reviewer definitely seems to feel that the XUV 300 has a more premium look.
Okay. And what makes them say that?
They talk about things like the larger wheels, 17 inches,
Oh, wow.
and the design of those taillights.
Yeah.
What do you think? Does size really matter when it comes to making a statement?
I think those little details, they can definitely add up.
Right.
It's like if you're, wearing a simple t-shirt
Yeah.
versus like a well-tailored suit.
Oh, yeah.
The XUV 300 have like the chrome accents and the way that soft touch dashboard material kind of curves around the driver.
Right.
It just has this kind of sense of understated luxury
Okay.
that I think maybe the Nexon is missing.
All right, so maybe a point for the XUV 300 in the impressing the neighbors category. But let's not judge a car just by its looks.
Of course not. Let's step inside.
Let's step inside.
Yeah, it's the sanctuary of the daily commute.
Exactly.
Comfort and feel are really key here.
Mm-hmm.
And the review seems to just love the XUV 300's cabin.
They do.
Lighter colors,
Yeah.
leather upholstery,
Mm-hmm.
a panoramic sunroof to let all that sunshine in.
They love it.
It just sounds like a really swanky experience.
Oh, yeah, they are very much fans. But hold on, there's a twist.
What's that?
The reviewer actually found the XUV 300's front seats a little too snug,
Oh, really?
almost like a bear hug.
Oh, wow.
They even mentioned feeling a bit cramped in the footwell.
Interesting.
So this is where personal preference really comes in, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
It's like Goldilocks,
Yeah.
Not too hard, not too soft, but just right.
Right.
You got to think about your own build
Yeah.
and what you're going to find comfortable for those longer drives.
That's a good point. Speaking of space, both cars are pretty similar in overall dimensions.
Right?
But the XUV 300 has a longer wheelbase,
Right.
which the review says means better legroom in the back seat.
That's good.
However, they do mention that the thigh support might not be ideal for 3 adults back there,
Yeah.
and there could be some headroom issues on the sides.
Right.
So maybe not the best for your taller friends.
Yeah, maybe not. And, another thing to think about with space,
What's that?
cargo space.
Yes.
That longer wheelbase on the XUV 300,
Uh-huh.
it actually means a slightly smaller boot
Oh, okay.
compared to the Nexon.
Interesting.
Plus, the XUV 300 has a higher loading lip,
Okay.
which could be a pain if you're hauling a lot of bulky items.
If you're a weekend warrior.
Exactly.
Or big shopping trips.
Yeah,
Now, the Nexon, it does get some points for having a sunroof, too.
right.
But the reviewer felt the darker interior colors made it feel less spacious.
Okay.
They also weren't fans of the Nexon's firm backrests
Uh-huh.
or the oddly placed USB ports.
Interesting.
So maybe not as user-friendly.
This is where I think you've got to think about what you really need.
Yeah,
How often are you really going to have 3 adults crammed in the back?
right.
Is hauling a lot of stuff a regular thing for you?
That's a good point.
These are the questions you've got to ask yourself
Exactly.
to figure out if those trade-offs are worth it.
Okay, enough about physical space. Let's get to the tech.
The fun stuff.
The Stuff magazine editor had some interesting observations here.
Oh, yeah. What did they say?
So the XUV 300,
Yeah.
massive 10.2-inch touchscreen,
Oh, wow.
and a sound system that's so powerful and customizable, it's practically a concert hall on wheels.
Uh-huh. That's awesome.
Think about it. You could fine-tune every detail of that audio
Yeah.
to perfectly match your taste.
I love that.
Sounds pretty amazing, but the editor did mention some lag in the system.
Oh, no.
and pointed out that some promised features like wireless CarPlay and Android Auto were still missing.
Oh, so maybe they're waiting on a software update or something.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Okay.
But on the flip side, the Nexon system got rave reviews for its sleek, modern look and snappy performance.
Okay.
And this is cool for all you iPhone users out there.
Yeah.
You can actually have Apple Maps displayed right there on the instrument cluster.
Oh, wow.
Talk about seamless integration.
So convenient.
And even though the Nexon sound system is a bit simpler, the editor actually preferred the overall tech experience.
Right.
So maybe it's a case of less is more sometimes.
Maybe so.
Let's move on to some of those head-to-head tests the reviewers did.
Okay.
When it comes to lighting up the road.
Yeah.
The XUV 300's headlamps take the trophy.
Interesting.
And in the battle of the rear view cameras,
Yep.
the XUV 300 wins again thanks to those brighter lights.
All right.
Even though the Nexon does offer a wider field of view.
Okay.
And let's not forget, the Nexon has an optional 360-degree camera, which wasn't available on the XUV 300 they were testing.
So another point to consider.
Right.
Definitely. Now let's get to the topic that's always top of mind.
Yeah, the price tag.
That's right.
Let's talk money.
So while the XUV 300 does have a lower starting price,
Okay.
for this comparison, they were looking at similarly equipped variants.
Right.
And there's some interesting quirks here.
Okay.
The top spec XUV 300, it has all the bells and whistles when it comes to safety features.
Oh, wow.
Even level 2 AD,
Okay.
advanced driver assistance systems.
Right.
But surprisingly, it doesn't offer ventilated seats.
What? Something that the Nexon does include?
Yeah.
Now that's a tough one.
I know, right?
Would you rather have all the fancy safety tech?
Yeah.
Or those cool and comfy seats?
Especially during those hot summer months.
All right, let's pop the hood. Talk engines.
Okay.
Both of these contenders come with a 1.5-liter diesel engine.
Right.
6-speed manual transmission. But they approach emissions compliance in slightly different ways.
Okay, you mentioned you're environmentally conscious.
Right.
So let's quickly break down how these engines differ in their approach to emissions.
Okay.
So the Nexon uses a DPF,
Okay.
diesel particulate filter.
Right.
It traps those harmful particles, while the XUV 300 relies on SCR,
Okay.
selective catalytic reduction, which basically chemically converts them into less harmful substances.
Gotcha.
Now, both of them meet current standards.
Right.
But the DPF in the Nexon might require, like, periodic cleaning or replacement,
Okay.
while the SCR system in the XUV 300 typically requires, like, a special fluid top-up.
Okay.
So that could affect your long-term maintenance costs.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Something to factor in.
For sure. Now let's get to the heart of it all.
Yeah.
The driving experience.
Yes.
This is where the review really gets exciting.
Oh.
Tell me more.
So the XUV 300 is praised for its smooth, refined engine.
Okay.
That punchy acceleration that gets you going.
Right.
And user-friendly features, like light steering and automatic engine stop-start.
Nice.
The suspension seems to strike that perfect balance
Yeah.
between handling bumps and providing a comfortable ride.
Okay.
So what about the Nexon?
Yeah, how does it compare?
Well, on paper, the Nexon has a slight disadvantage when it comes to power and torque.
Compared to the XUV 300.
Right.
However, remember that it's also lighter.
Yeah.
Which the review says makes it feel quite lively and responsive in real-world driving.
Okay, so it maybe makes up for it in other ways.
And get this, the Nexon has these drive modes.
Oh, really?
That can totally transform its personality.
Wow.
Think Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde,
Uh-huh.
but for cars.
Interesting.
Okay, so tell me more about these drive modes.
Yeah, what are they like?
The review specifically calls out the eco mode.
Okay.
And its impressive fuel efficiency.
Right.
In their tests, the Nexon actually managed to get better mileage than the XUV 300.
Really?
We're talking 21 kilometers per liter for the Nexon.
Wow.
Versus 19.5 for the XUV 300.
That's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, which is pretty impressive for a diesel.
Especially considering what we saw on paper.
Exactly. But like with most things in life, there's a trade-off.
Okay.
The refinement isn't quite as polished.
Right.
The engine can get a bit noisy when you push it hard. However, the flip side is that the Nexon's sharp handling makes it the more fun car to drive.
Okay.
Especially if you enjoy those winding back roads.
Right, so it's kind of a toss-up.
Yeah.
Between a smooth, refined ride and that sporty, engaging experience.
So are you saying it's a battle between playing it cool
Yeah.
and letting loose?
I think that's a great way to put it.
Okay, drum roll, please. What's the final verdict from the reviewer?
Yeah, who wins?
They actually crown the XUV 300 the winner.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's not all that surprising, though, is it?
Not really.
With its overall premium feel,
Yeah.
that refined driving experience, and those impressive tech features.
Right.
But remember, reviews are just one piece of the puzzle.
Absolutely.
It's about finding the best fit for you.
Exactly. Before we jump to any conclusions, let's really break down what matters most to you in a car.
Right.
Put ourselves in your shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, we've covered a lot, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
From styling to tech.
Uh-huh.
Even pop the hood a little bit.
Yeah, to see what makes those diesel engines tick.
Exactly.
But, as we've kind of touched upon here, choosing the right car.
Yeah.
It's more than just,
Right.
picking boxes on a spec sheet.
Absolutely.
It's about picturing yourself
Yeah.
behind the wheel,
Right.
key in the ignition,
Yeah.
ready for that first drive.
That's what it's all about. It's about the feeling.
The experience.
So let's recap some of these key differences
Yeah.
between the Nexon and the XUV 300.
Right.
Maybe that'll help you visualize
Right.
which one's a better fit for your lifestyle.
Exactly.
On one hand, we've got the XUV 300 with its sophisticated interior, refined driving experience, like
Right.
that perfectly tailored suit we talked about.
Definitely gives off those,
Yeah.
I've got it together vibes.
Right.
Like, imagine pulling up to a fancy restaurant or a client meeting in this car. You'd make quite an entrance.
But don't let that fool you.
No.
It's not all about appearances.
Right.
The XUV 300 still has that peppy engine.
Yeah.
Can handle itself on the open road. It's like that friend who's always impeccably dressed,
Yeah.
but isn't afraid to let loose on the dance floor.
I like that.
Then there's the Nexon
Yeah?
with its sportier edge,
Huh?
that playful energy.
Okay.
It's a bit more rugged,
Mm-hmm.
more adventurous.
All right.
Reminds me of that friend who's always up for a spontaneous road trip, no matter the destination.
Right. And remember, the Nexon also has
Yes.
those coveted ventilated seats.
Oh, yeah. They are very nice.
Which, let's be honest, can be a lifesaver.
Oh, yeah. On a scorching summer day.
It's like having your own personal AC
Yeah.
built right into the seat.
So which personality speaks to you more?
Yeah.
That refined gentleman of the road, the XUV 300, or the adventurous spirit of the Nexon ready to tackle any terrain?
Here's a little exercise for you. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of each car.
I'm doing it.
What kind of roads are you on?
Ooh.
Are you cruising down a scenic highway
Okay.
with the windows down?
Yeah.
Or are you navigating those tight city streets?
Okay, I can see it.
Who's in the passenger seat?
Oh, good question.
Your family, your friends?
Hmm?
Or maybe just you enjoying some solo time on the road?
I like that.
What's playing on the sound system?
Ooh.
Your favorite playlist?
Could be.
A gripping audiobook?
Yeah.
Maybe just the sweet sound of silence?
Okay.
Really try to paint that picture in your mind.
Yeah.
Feel the experience.
It's all coming together.
Are you enjoying that smooth, quiet ride of the XUV 300?
Okay.
Or are you craving that feedback,
Mm-hmm.
responsiveness
Yeah.
of the Nexon's sportier suspension?
Oh, yeah.
And how about those seats?
Yeah.
Do those body-hugging seats in the XUV 300
Right.
make you feel secure,
Yeah.
supported?
Uh-huh.
Or do you find them a bit restrictive? Would you prefer the more relaxed feel
Yeah.
of the Nexon seats,
Mm-hmm.
especially with that added bonus of ventilation?
Right.
These little details might seem insignificant on paper,
Right.
but they can make a world of difference
Totally.
in how much you actually enjoy driving that car.
Day in and day out.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
remember,
Yeah.
what one reviewer finds appealing,
Mm-hmm.
you might not.
That's a great point.
That's why taking both cars for a test drive,
Yes.
absolutely crucial.
It's like trying on a pair of shoes.
Exactly.
You can look at them all you want,
Yeah.
but until you put them on and walk around,
You don't know how they truly feel.
that's the best analogy.
So get behind the wheel
Yes.
of both the Nexon and the XUV 300.
Mm-hmm.
Experience them firsthand.
Yeah.
Pay attention to how they handle, how
Oh,
comfortable the seats are,
Right.
how intuitive the tech features are in real life.
Exactly.
Notice the little things, too.
Yeah. What kind of little things?
The placement of the cup holders,
Yeah.
visibility from the driver's seat,
Yeah.
how much road noise you hear.
Right.
Those seemingly small details
Mm-hmm.
can really impact your day-to-day driving experience.
Absolutely. And who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe you'll discover something that wasn't even mentioned in the reviews.
totally.
Something that makes one of these cars stand out as like the clear winner for you.
Yeah. And we're really curious to hear your thoughts.
Oh, this is...
After you've had a chance to test drive them,
Yeah.
let us know which car you would choose.
Yes.
What factors tip the scales for you?
I think that would be really interesting to hear.
Yeah, because your insights might even help other listeners
Totally
make their decision.
Yeah, we love hearing those real-world perspectives.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with a final thought.
Okay. Theory.
It's about going beyond
Okay.
the numbers, the specs, the reviews.
Right.
It's about making a connection with the car
Okay.
on a deeper level. So think about what kind of driving experience you crave.
Ooh, yeah.
Do you want a car that feels like a seamless extension of yourself, reflecting your personality, your style?
Gotcha.
Or do you prioritize practicality, comfort, and that sense of reliability above all else?
That's a good point.
The answer to that question
Yeah.
will ultimately guide you
Right.
to the perfect car for you.
And remember, there's no right or wrong answer.
Exactly.
It's all about finding the car that brings you joy every time you slide behind the wheel.
We hope this deep dive has given you some food for thought and helped you narrow down your choices.
Yeah.
Now it's time to put that knowledge into action.
Yes.
Take those test drives.
We can't wait to hear which compact SUV wins your heart. Okay, so we're wrapping up our compact SUV showdown.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey.
Really has.
Exploring all the angles of the Tata Nexon and that Mahindra XUV 300.
And we uncovered some interesting quirks.
We did along the way.
Like the Nexon's surprising fuel efficiency.
Yeah, in eco mode.
Proving that, sometimes those smaller engines can really pack a punch.
Yeah, when it comes to saving you some money at the pump.
And then who could forget the XUV 300's lack of ventilated seats?
Right. A feature that could be a deal breaker.
Yeah, for some.
For some, especially in those warmer climates.
We've really tried to put ourselves in your shoes.
Yeah?
Thinking about those factors.
Yeah.
That might sway your decision.
Because ultimately,
right,
the best car isn't the one that wins all the awards.
No.
It's the most glowing reviews.
It's the one that fits.
Yeah, your individual needs.
For lifestyle.
Your driving style.
Exactly. So if you're drawn to that premium feel, a refined driving experience, and all the bells and whistles when it comes to technology, then the XUV 300 might be your perfect match.
It's like that reliable friend who always shows up on time.
Right.
Looking sharp. Ready to impress.
Exactly. But if you crave a little more excitement behind the wheel, you prioritize fuel efficiency.
Right.
And you just can't imagine life without those ventilated seats on a hot day. Then the Nexon might be calling your name.
Think of it as that adventurous friend.
Okay.
Who's always up for a spontaneous road trip.
Yes.
Ready to explore new horizons.
So ultimately,
the choice is yours.
There's no right or wrong answer.
Just different strokes for different folks.
We hope this deep dive has given you a fresh perspective on these two popular compact SUVs.
And more importantly, helped you identify what features and qualities are most important to you.
Yeah, in a car.
So now it's time to take the next step.
Schedule those test drives.
Get behind the wheel.
Yes.
Experience both the Nexon and the XUV 300 for yourself.
Pay attention to how they make you feel.
Do you feel confident and in control?
Excited and engaged?
Comfortable and relaxed?
Trust your instincts and remember,
there's no substitute for firsthand experience.
And hey, you might even discover something we didn't cover
in our deep dive.
That makes one of these cars stand out as the undeniable winner for you.
So as you embark on this next stage of your car buying journey, we want to leave you with one final thought.
Hit me.
Don't just buy a car. Buy an experience.
All of that.
Choose the car that will spark joy.
Yes.
Every time you turn that key and hit the road.
The car that will seamlessly integrate into your life.
Yes, and enhance all of your everyday adventures.
Happy driving, everybody.
Happy driving.